So introduction to DBMS or DBMS. Right. I mean, basic things. Those things we already discussed. So now today I'm going to start working with our actual scenario, that is SQL development. Right. Correct, Aish. Yeah. Coming to next scenario. Today I'm going to work with SQL server related scenarios. See, basically in project environment, we are going to work with minimum 3 servers. Okay. What are those three servers? Let us see. See, this is development server. Who is going to work with development server? Developers. SQL server developers will be there. They are going to work with development server and they're going to develop the database. See, what is the meaning of development? Creating tables, writing commands, writing queries, stored procedures. So these are all comes under development tasks. So that we do in development server on, right? So after completion of the development, your database will be transferred to QA. In QA, test engineers team will be there. Okay, na? Here they are going to test the database developed by development team. After that, database will be transferred to production server. In production server, DBA team will be there. Database administration team. They're going to take care of production server. So in this overall scenario, in development environment and QA environment, just we are going to work with only test data. Okay, now only test data we are going to use. Coming to next scenario. Important scenario here is based on data uses. We are going to work with different types of versions from SQL Server. Right. Okay, now because you take production server. In production server, we are using customers data. I mean, we are going to store customers data. Right. And so production is really important for us because most important data is part of production. Right. So now you go to development environment and QA environment. There we are not going to work with production data, just the test data only. So some features of the SQL server is more than enough for those servers. But coming to production server, we need all features of the SQL. That's why based on type of server, we are going to work with different versions of the SQL, different editions of the SQL. Right. Now let's go to next scenario. We are going to discuss about different versions available in SQL Server. We have SQL Server 2000 version. This is also known as SQL Server 8.0. Okay, now. So next we have SQL Server 2005, which is also known as 9.0. Then 2008 version 10.0. After that 2012 11.0, 2014 2014 version we have 12.0, 2016 version 13.0, 2017 version 14.0, 2019 version 15.0. So these are the different versions we have in SQL Server to perform different types of tasks. So generally, if you have Windows 10 operating system, go for SQL Server 2019 only, right? Because compatibility is also really important for us. Compatible operating systems is required for us. In the same way, if you have SQL Server, Windows 11 operating system, nowadays Windows 11 coming, right, with laptops. If you have Windows 11 operating system, latest version is going to release, of course, already available from SQL Server, that is 2022. Go for SQL Server 2022. So these are all you can directly download from Microsoft, just for practice purpose only. Trial version is available. You can download them and you can install them. So coming to next scenario, I told you based on edition, based on server type, we are going to work with the different editions of the SQL Server, that is Enterprise Edition. See, Enterprise Edition is top end edition of the SQL Server, right? So top end edition means it contains each and every feature of the SQL Server, which is required for us to perform database production storage related scenarios. That means maximum scenarios for production server, right? And maximum scenarios for production server, we are going to use Enterprise Edition. Coming to next scenario, we have developer edition. Of course, in between we can go for some other edition, that is standard edition. The major difference between enterprise edition and standard edition is cost will be reduced. Of course, features also going to reduce. Some people are going to use standard edition for production, but maximum what we do, we are going to use enterprise edition only for production purpose, right? After that, we have developer edition, middle range, limited cost, limited features. Generally for QA purpose and development purpose, we use developer edition of the SQL Server. After that, we have Express edition. See, Express means, it is completely free edition. You can directly download it from official website of the Microsoft Corporation. But Express edition can be used for only practice purpose. Real-time purpose, we cannot use Express edition. Okay. Now, real-time purpose, we use enterprise edition, standard edition, or developer edition, but not Express edition. Remember, please. Right. In the same way, let me show you how to download this one. Of course, I already prepared installation videos, but still I want to show you how to go for downloading SQL software for practice purpose. SQL Server. In search button, type it as like this: SQL Server 2019 download. Go to downloads website. But we are redirected to 2022. If you click on this download button, download under developer, but not Express. See that here it is showing developer edition, Express edition. Even this developer edition is also trial version for us, practice purpose only. Okay. So you can download it and install. Okay. Now, an installation video I will share. Next, after completion of the SQL Server installation, you have to go for Management Studio download. SQL Server Management Studio. Go to this website. Here you can see this 19.0. Previous version of the Management Studio 18, now it is 19. You download this version of the Management Studio and you can go for installation. Right. So in the beginning, what we do, we go for SQL Server installation. After completion of the SQL Server installation, we are going to download Management Studio and we are going to install Management Studio. Right. And so after finishing this, Management Studio installation. We are going to install, we are going to create database for practice purpose. So I will give you that database backup file. And coming to next scenario, the tool. What is the tool we are going to use to interact with SQL databases? Tool name is Management Studio tool. In shortcut, it is also known as SSMS. SQL Server Management Studio. So this is the tool we are using to interact with SQL databases and perform different types of operations. Now here we have Management Studio environment. Just click on Management Studio. This is your server. Connect. So this is Management Studio environment. You go to New Query. See this, where I'm clicking New Query. So after clicking on New Query, you have to select your database. Suppose my database name is Suresh DB. Use Suresh DB. That means I'm going to connect to Suresh DB database. Use Suresh DB means what? I'm going to connect it to Suresh DB database. See, we have written some command here. How to execute this command? See here, you can go for execute button. See, like this. So even this tool is also we install after completion of the SQL installation, right? So in this way, we can connect it to databases in Management Studio and we can perform different types of operations in Management Studio, right? This is the way like how we are working. And coming to next scenario. Now you have to go for SQL installation. And you have to perform different types of scenarios here. So now tell me how many of you done with SQL installation, please? Ayush, you attended my previous classes, right? Deepak attended. Hemant, you also attended, right?
Yes, sir.
Pallavi, have you attended my previous classes? I mean, demo session only. Last week we did demo. Pallavi, I cannot hear you. Message, please. Rajalakshmi, I think you attended demo, right?
No, sir.
No.
No,
Okay.
this is my first class. Yeah.
Saurabh Edo? Saurabh? Okay, no problem. Let's do one thing. Installation is important. Try to go for installation of the SQL today, because next step we have to start working with practical scenarios. That's why I'm requesting you all go for SQL installation. So because if you face any issues with SQL installation, I can help you. That is the reason. Next class, I can help you in SQL installation. That is what my plan. Right? Clear, girl. So let's do one thing. So take it as new participants, you take it as demo. Old participants continuation class, right? Anyhow, I'm going to start practical part from tomorrow. Lengthy sessions will be starting from tomorrow only. Okay, na? Right then. See you tomorrow. Right. What we discussed in the last session, any idea, please? Hello?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. We
Good morning.
discussed about the SQL version, Enterprise Edition, Standard Edition, SQL versions, SQL editions, and how to download the SQL and setup. I mean, not setup, just download SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio.
Okay, right, no problem. So let's go to next scenario. Today, we are going to discuss about data types concept. So what are the different data types available in SQL and how they're going to work? That and all I'm going to. So coming to next scenario. Bharat, okay, right, okay, Bharat. So coming to next scenario. Now, database means we are going to store different types of data. For example, numbers, characters, date time data, currency values. Okay. So in this way, different types of data can be stored in databases. So now, coming to next scenario. If you want to store any type of data in SQL Server environment, you need supporting data types. Okay. So what are the data types available in SQL? That is really important. Today, I'm going to discuss about them. Tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with practicals. Right. So coming to data types concept, number family. So in the beginning, we have to discuss about number family data. So number family, we have different data types again in the number family. So what are those data types in the number family? Integer. So integer means it is perfect number. It will not accept any decimal values. That is what integer concept. Perfect number means what? Without decimal values. Right? If any decimal value is there, we cannot store it in int. Next, float data type. See, in float data type, we can store only decimal values. Okay. So we have different data types to store different types of data. Right? And so now here, integer for perfect numbers, float for decimal values.
Hello. Sir, you are not audible. Clear.
So here we have some other data type also. Right, now I think it's okay.
Yes, okay. Sir,
Is numeric data type. This also comes under number only, numeric of p comma s. See, numeric is data type. P comma s is length of the data type. Okay, so here P stands for precision and S stands for scale. P stands for precision, S stands for scale. So what is precision and scale? We'll go for some example. Suppose I'm giving it as numeric of 5 comma 2. Right in. So 5 is precision, 2 is scale. Here, precision indicates total digits in the number. Total digits. Scale indicates number of digits after decimal point. So total 5 after decimal 2. That means we can go for 3 before decimal, right? Suppose this is decimal point. What is the scale value? 2. Scale is 2. That means you can go for 2 digits after the decimal point. Like, so total 5 we have given 2 after decimal, so we can go for 3 before decimal. So this value is scale and the overall value is precision. This is numeric data type. Is it clear or any questions, please? Numeric data type is clear. Clear, right? So you are not asking any questions means I feel clear. Right? So these are the data types we have in number family. Next step, we are going to work with the character data. So char of length. See, this is known as fixed length character data. In the same way, it accepts alphanumeric data. Alphanumeric means what? Mixing of character and number. Mixing of character and number comes under alphanumeric. It accepts it. Then it provides good performance also. Performance means what? Speed. Accessing speed of the databases comes under performance. Next, there is some issue with this data type and memory wastage. So when we are working with this data type, some memory wastage will be there, space wastage. But now the question is how this space wastage occurs. That is a question. I'll give you an example. See, we already discussed in SQL we can store data only in the form of tables, right? And suppose we are working with some table. Table contains ename column. For ename column, I have given data type as char of 10. That means maximum of 10 characters can be inserted into ename column. Suppose I'm inserting my name Suresh. How many characters there in this name? 6. So we are inserting 6, so it has to occupy 6 byte space in the database. But what happens,
Only 6 character take. More than 6, not
6
allowed.
bytes it occupies. 6 bytes it occupies for the data, whatever we inserted into table. But extra 4 bytes it will go for blank padding. Blank padding means what happens? Null value is going to store. So unnecessarily, we are going to lose data. I mean space. See this? If it is occupying only 6 bytes, then no issues. But it is occupying 6 bytes for the data, whatever we inserted. Remaining 4 bytes, it is going for blank padding. And that is a problem. So because of that reason only, some data loss will be there when working with this data type. But still, why it is there in SQL? Common question, right? Because we are going to work with some fixed length columns in the database system. Fixed length means every time we are going to insert the same data. That is the meaning of fixed length. True, 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 false, false, false. This type of data we are going to insert, right? Some columns, every time same data. So those columns we are going to use this data type. Otherwise, what happens, we are going to work with the var of length. This is known as variable length character data. It also accepts alphanumeric data. Alphanumeric means mixing of character and number. Max size 8000 bytes. Previous scenario we discussed about the fixed length character data. Even in that also we can store maximum 8000 bytes. That is the max limit. So in the same way, the only difference is no memory wastage. In this data type, what happens, whatever the data you are going to insert, it occupies memory for that only. No wastage. Right. So because of that reason only, maximum scenarios when we are working with this data type, no memory wastage will be there. That's why maximum for character data storage purpose we use varchar data type only. Okay. But remember, if you're going for char or varchar, you can store only 8000 maximum. Suppose the requirement is exceeding 8000 bytes, then what? We are going to work with varchar of max data type. So varchar of max, everything like varchar data type only. Same scenarios. Variable length character data accepts alphanumeric data. No memory wastage, but only difference is max size 2 GB. That is the only difference. Right? That is the only difference. So coming to next scenario. Now, these are the data types we have to store character data. After that, we have to work with the date time. We have different data types here. Small date time. I'm sorry. When we are working with this data type, we can store data up to 2079. So this is the maximum limit we have. Right? And up to 2079 year, we can store. But in the same way, we have some other data type, date time also. In date time data type, we can store data up to 9999 year. So this is the maximum limit for date time. But remember, if you're going for small date time or date time, you can store date value and time value also. Date value and time value also can be stored. So if you want to store only date, only time, even for that also we have data types like this. Because sometimes we are going to store only date values, only time values, right? So for that we can use these data types. So these are the data types we have in number family to store different types of data. Right? And so coming to next scenario, we have money data type. See, what is the purpose of money data type? It is used to store currency values with the symbols. Here you can ask some question. So why you are going for separate data type? We have number family, right? We have different data types in number family, right? In number family, we can use we can store this type of data, right? Then why you are going for separate data type? Because there is some symbol, dollar symbol, check it. What is this dollar symbol? Special character. Of course, that is currency symbol, I'm accepting, but it is special character. So in number family, what happens, you cannot store characters and special characters. That is the scenario. So you want to store currency values and you want to go for calculations also. Right? You want to store currency values, in the same you want to go for calculations also. Then we are going to use this money data type. Remember, please. Then we have XML data type also. XML means like a file system. So XML storage we are going to do in SQL. There we are going to use this data type. Okay. So these are the major data types we have in SQL environment. SQL Server. So then what to do? We have to connect it to Management Studio. In the last class, yesterday we have seen like how to connect it to Management Studio, because in SQL Server environment, we can store data only in the form of tables, right? So there is no other facility. So now coming to next scenario. To create tables, to develop all scenarios, we need some tool. The tool name is Management Studio only. So here we have Management Studio. I already installed SQL. Enrolled participants, you can talk to training team. They will give you access to SQL installation videos so that you can complete SQL Server installation. See this. This is Management Studio environment. This is your server. So now just click on connect to button. So we connected to Management Studio. So here if you want to write queries, because generally we are working with the SQL Server, means we are going to write queries, right? Go to new query window. So in this window, we can write and execute queries. But before that, we have to select our database name. Suppose my database name is Suresh DB. How can I select database like this? Use Suresh DB. Execute this statement so that you'll be connected to Suresh DB database. See here you have execute button. See that. Click on this. So what happened now? You connected to Suresh DB. Right? So after doing this task, after connecting to your database only, perform other type of operations. Perform remaining operations. So coming to next scenario, installation related scenarios I discussed previously. Like who is going to install SQL Server? DBA. DBA is going to install SQL Server. After completion of the SQL Server installation only, we create database. They only create database, right? And they only. Then we are going to work with that database. Now coming to next scenario. What are the different types of databases there? Because we have different types of databases. System databases, user databases. See, you are developer. See, this training is development training. So developer cannot create new database, but at least you know like what is database, what database contains, these things better to learn, right? Am I right or not? In the same way, while connecting to management studio, we provide some security scenarios like the login name, password, different authentications we have. So better to learn about those things also. So system databases, user databases. What is the difference? What is the purpose of system databases? Better to discuss all these scenarios. Because if you start working with the commands, queries, then you cannot go back to these things. That's why better to discuss these things in the beginning only so that you'll get perfect idea. Okay, fine. So from where we are going to start? What database contains? How data stores in the database? You'll get overall idea in the beginning only, so that the things becomes easy for you to understand, to work, right? In the same way, the language we are going to use is SQL language. SQL stands for what? Structured Query Language. So this is common language for database development. By using SQL language only, we are going to develop different databases. I mean SQL environment. In the same way, we have SQL also. SQL stands for Structured English Query Language. In the beginning, there was common language SQL only. Now it is SQL only. There is no SQL. That's why still we are writing it as SQL, but we are calling it as SQL. You also call it as SQL only. Okay. So in the same way, this language SQL contains some sublanguages. DDL, data definition language. DML, data manipulation language. DRL, data retrieval language. TCL, transaction control language. And DCL, data control language. So your important thing is DRL commands we are going to use maximum in the project environment. Data retrieval language. So DRL means what? Retrieving data from the tables. Data retrieval language command, select command is used to retrieve data from the table. So that is regular operation. Because of that reason only, even in this training also, lot of topics there related to DRL. 7 to 8 topics there related to DRL. So you have to concentrate on that area. Even we are going to provide you maximum assignments related to DRL. I told you I'm going to provide you 200 assignments. Queries for practice purpose. So I'm giving those scenarios related to DRL. That is the importance of DRL and data retrieval language in this training. So you have to concentrate on that area, DRL area. Okay. So this DCL area, data control language, means what are the different types of logins, authentications there, how we are going to work with them. I mean, generally when we use authentications while connecting to management studio, right? While connecting to SQL server, we are going to use different types of authentications, different types of logins. These are all we are going to use. Right, and so those things also I'm going to discuss very clearly. Tomorrow I'm going to start working with DCL, data control language, security related scenarios. Very clearly I'm going to discuss. After that, I'm going to work with the databases creation. System databases, user databases, these are all I'm going to discuss very clearly in tomorrow's class, because now we have some time, but that is not enough for me to discuss those things. Even practical part also we are doing tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow same time we'll start the class, and don't miss tomorrow's class. Okay. Right.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one question. Hello.
Tell me, please. What is the question, Hemant?
Sir, there is a need every day we register. I don't get any link or
No,
drive
actually thing
access.
is still it is demo session only. That's why we are doing around 45 minutes. Okay now. Mostly
Okay, sir.
tomorrow day
So
after
when
tomorrow also will be like this. Now, as per my knowledge, Thursday onwards or Friday onwards, they're going to change the link. Then onwards, you no need to register every day. Even no need to register in the beginning also. Okay, na? Right?
okay, sir. Sir, okay. I means after 2-3 days, it will be going to start actual class.
Already some participants joined, enrolled for this training. Some of them waiting. So mostly today is Tuesday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday onwards, mostly they're going to change the link. Or Thursday going to change link. That I will announce in the tomorrow's class. Better if anybody wants to continue this training, enroll with the Durga Soft so that you can get installation videos and access to Google Drive also. That's okay.
Okay,
Right.
sir.
Okay.
So actually,
Deepak,
I
tell me.
paid free.
Okay, no problem. I'll talk to training team. Okay, na?
Okay, okay.
Okay, then. See you tomorrow. Right, all of you. So let's connect it to management studio. What we discussed in yesterday's class, any idea, please? Anybody? Any idea? Data types discussed, right?
Right, sir.
After that, today we have to start with the commands part. So let us see that how to work with the commands part. In the same way, if you want to work with the command part, you should know how to connect it to management studio. This is management studio here we have, and from this only we are going to perform different types of commands. They are connected to new query window like this. But after connecting to new query, You have to select our database. Use database name. My database name is Suresh DB. Execute. Execution purpose, we are using this execute button. Okay. Now we connected to database. Then we have to work with the remaining things. So in the beginning, sorry, we are working with the DDL commands, data definition language commands. We are starting now. After that, we work with other types of commands. So create command. So create command is used to create tables in SQL Server environment. Because see, in SQL Server environment, data can be stored in the form of tables only. In the beginning, we are going to create table, then we are going to store data. So let us see that create table. Suppose table name I am giving it as product. What is the table name we are giving? Products. So start bracket. Inside bracket, we have to define columns because table contains columns, right? Suppose product ID integer, comma. That means in product ID column, we can store integer data, right? Next, product name column. Suppose varchar of 20 character data, maximum 20 characters. Next, order date time, right? After that, we have color of the product, that is varchar of 20, close bracket. Execution done. Okay, now see, here important thing is we created this table with 4 columns, right? But we can create table with maximum of 1024 columns. That is the limitation. Okay. Coming to next scenario. Now, table created means we just created only structure of the table. Okay. Only structure, because table contains columns and rows, right? So we created only structure now. So how to check this structure? SP underscore help table name products. See this. That is the structure of the table we created. Right? And so next, SP underscore help is system stored procedure. It is not a DDL command, because today now we are working with the DDL command. So we feel SP underscore help is also DDL command. That's not correct. It's not DDL command only. So now next step, table already created, and I want to add new columns to the table, alter table. Adding new columns, because table already created, it is there in the database, right? Alter. Suppose alter table product, add. Suppose I want to add sales amount integer, comma. In the same way, category varchar of 10, like this. Done. That means what happened now? We added new columns to the table. How we added new columns to the table? By using alter add command. Right. And by using alter add command, we added new columns to the table. Check it. So if you want to check it, what to do? Go for SP underscore help products, because structure, right? And if you want to check the structure, what to do? You should go for SP underscore help only. See this now. Added new columns added to the table. See here, you can see added columns. In the same way, next scenario, I want to drop columns from the table. Suppose there is some column, category column. I want to delete only category column from the table. Alter drop. See this alter table products, drop column category. So now what happens, see that that particular column, category column dropped from the table. Right? So alter drop. By using alter drop command, we dropped column from the table. If you have any doubts, SP_help products. See this, there is no category column existing in the table. Okay, now? Next, we have product ID column. What is the data type of product ID column? Integer. So at the time of table creation, we have given product ID column data type as integer. But now I want to change data type of product ID from integer to character. What to do? Okay, na? What I'm doing, changing data type. So see, if I want to change a data type from integer to character, the column should be empty. If data is existing in the column, we cannot change data type. Okay, now? Alter table products, alter column ID, product ID, right? So just provide new data type. Suppose varchar of 10. See this. Right, and so this is the point. So now how can I check it? Tell me. So I can check it by using SP_help table name products. See this. What is the new data type of product ID? Character. Right, and so this is the way, like how we are going to alter table. So you create a table in the beginning. After that, you are going to, you just added new columns to the table and dropped column, change data type of the column. So different types of operations you performed. Right? And so now next command, truncate command. What is the purpose of truncate? Truncate command is used to delete data from the table. What it can do? Only deleting data from the table. Deleting data, not structure. Of course, there is no data right now in the table, but still concept is it is used to delete data from the table. So truncate table products done. Execution done successfully. Now only thing is we have to check whether table structure deleted or not. See this. Table structure not deleted. It is there only structure. Please check it. Right, Andy? So next command, drop command. So drop command is used to delete the table from the database. Suppose drop table products. See this. What happened? Table dropped. Now sp underscore help products. See this. There is no table. Why? It is throwing error. It is showing table does not exist. Why it is showing like that? Because table deleted. Because we dropped the table by using drop command, right? So if you want to work with the same table, what to do? You have to create it again. See this. How I'm going back like this? Control Z. By using Control Z, we can go to previous commands in Management Studio, new query. Okay, new query window. So these are DDL commands. Is it clear? DDL commands clear or any questions, please? Right. Okay, now. So after finishing DDL, we are going to work with the DML, data manipulation language, insert command. Insert command is used to insert data into table. Suppose insert into products, values, keywords, syntax, ID, product ID, suppose P1, product name, suppose car, next order date, something date here, comma, color of the product, white color, comma, sales amount, something like this. See this data. What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many columns there in the table? SP underscore help products. Oh, only 4 columns available. Let's do one thing. Let's add sales amount. Alter table products. Add sales amount integer. Now see this. Oh shit. We create a table again, right? Wait. Alter table products, alter column product ID, varchar. So make it 20. Now it works. See this. Data inserted. But my question is, we used single quotes for some values, but for some values we are not used single quotes. Why? The reason, these are character data type columns, date time data, character data, number family. Not only insert command, anywhere in SQL Server, any command. While working with the character data, date time data, single quotes are mandatory. If you are working with the number family, no need to go for single quotes. That is what the scenario. Okay. In the same way, how to insert multiple rows into table, that also we'll see. Here go for comma, start bracket. Again, no need to type insert command. Okay, na? Right. So like this. See now what's happening here? We are inserting multiple rows. See this. By using this scenario, we inserted multiple rows into this table. In the same way, suppose I want to insert null value into sales amount. So now you have to declare like this: product ID, product name, order date, right? Comma. What is the next column? Color column, I think. So values. See this. So when you want to insert null value into some column, you do like this. You have to declare columns. Suppose product ID P for product name cycle. Suppose like this. See what happened now? Row inserted. Row inserted into table, but only product ID, product name, order date, color, but no value inserted into sales amount. Means null value inserted into sales amount. Select star from products. So this command is used to retrieve data from the table. Basically, you know, the select command is not DML, it is DRL. We want to see the data, that's why I'm using this command now. Otherwise, it is not a DML command. See this. Next DML command is update. Used to update or replace old data with new data. Update product set. For example, sales amount equal to 3000. But whose sales amount you want to update? Fine, you are going to update sales amount, that's okay. But whose sales amount you want to update? So we are writing condition where product ID equal to P4. See this. So product ID P4 that product sales amount updated. If you have any doubt, say this. Updated or not? Please check it and updated, right? So next command is delete. Used to delete the data from the table. See, we already worked with the truncate, right? Then what is truncate command? DDL commands we worked with the truncate, right? Truncate also used to delete data from the table only. But the thing is, difference is truncate command can delete only entire data from the table. Only entire data from the table. Delete command can delete selected data from the table. Suppose where I'm sorry, product ID equal to P4 I'm sorry, see this. So now what happened? This command deleted only P4 product ID row from the table. Okay, now right? But you cannot do this task by using truncate. Truncate command can delete only entire data from the table. If you have any questions, select star from products. See, this last row is not there. Why last row is not there? Because we dropped it. We deleted it. So if you want to delete the selected rows from the table, what to do? You should go for this command, truncate. So these are the DDL, DML commands we have, right, all of you. So we are in the beginning only. And I know that some of you have not installed SQL in your laptops. Some new participants also there. Please go ahead and ask training teams. They will provide you SQL Server installation videos, finish installation and create database also. So that tomorrow onwards, we can go for other things. And Friday class onwards, link is going to change. Friday class onwards, they will give you link to only paid participants. Okay, now? Right then. Okay, Madesh. We'll meet 7 class. Okay. Enrolled participants, okay, no problem. I'm just giving information to all. That's all. Right, Andy? See you tomorrow then. Right, all of you. So let's connect it to Management Studio. So what we discussed in yesterday's session, tell me please. What was the topic we discussed in the last session yesterday?
Sir, out commands. Insert, update, run.
DTL, DML commands we discussed. Have you installed SQL Server? All of you? I'm asking about SQL installation. Done? Okay.
Sir, I tried to install but not success.
So you are facing errors, right, Deepak? Okay, no
Sir, I am
problem.
trying to install Ubuntu.
That's what they are. Okay, no problem. So let's go to next scenario today. Right. So I think we have some new participants again today. Jashwant Krishnan, you're new, right? This guy Shubham Palkar also new.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jashwant, we already done with some sessions. Okay. So if you are okay to continue the training, we can go for backup class. I'll give you backup of those classes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So coming to next scenario. Today we are going to work with data retrieval language. See, only command of the DRL is select statement. So basically, select statement is used to retrieve data from the tables. For example, you create a table, inserted data, updated data, deleted data. And finally, you want to see what is there in the table, right? In that case, we are going to use select statement, query part, querying data. See, we have a lot of types of select statements available in SQL environment, but basically we have 4 types. So What are those basic types? Let us see. Select star from EMP. Right. Select star from EMP. See, query executed. It retrieved entire data from the table. All columns, all rows retrieved. Right. All columns of the table, all rows. But here I'm using star operator. Star means what? Star means all columns. All columns of the table. In the same way, there is no condition in this query. Is there any condition in the query? No. So what happened now? All columns and all rows. Right. All columns and all rows retrieved from the. So when you are using star operator in the select statement, it retrieves all columns. Okay. Because better to maintain clarity in the table, we have columns and rows also. Right. And columns means structure of the table. Rows means data. Right. And so this is entire data. So next step, I want to retrieve all columns, but only selected rows. What to do? Where condition? See, here we have department number column in the table. Select star from EMP where department number equal to 10. Check it, what happened. All columns retrieved only. But coming to rows only. Selected rows retrieved. Please check it. Only selected rows retrieved. The reason is you are using star operator in the query. You are using star operator in the query, so all columns retrieved. Coming to data, rows, you are writing condition, where condition. So your writing condition means what happens, it retrieves only condition satisfied data. Okay. Now, so next model, I don't want to retrieve data from all columns of the table. Right hand. See, if I want to retrieve data from all columns of the table, then I have to write star operator. I have to use star operator. But here important thing is I'm not going to do like that. Suppose I want to retrieve only e-name and salary. E-name and salary from the table. What to do? So if you're using star operator, all columns will be retrieved. But I don't want to retrieve all columns. Right in. So let's go for statement here. Select e-name, comma, salary from employee. See this? What happened? Only e-names and salaries retrieved. All e-names, all salaries retrieved. Please check it. Right, and all e-names and all salaries retrieved. Next model, I want to retrieve only selected e-names, selected salaries. Where condition? See this. What happened now? Only department number, ten related e-name salaries retrieved. Please check it. Selected data. Right, and that is the scenario. Right. So coming to next scenario. Now, these are the basic types of select statements. Practice. Because if you are practicing these things, you'll get clarity. Okay. So coming to next scenario. Now, we have to discuss about security part. See, while connecting to Management Studio, we selected some server name. We did some other operations also. Right. So now, at the time of connecting to Management Studio, we have to provide some credentials also. Credentials means what? Username, password. Login. So what are the different types of logins there in SQL and how we are going to work with them? I mean, how we are going to use. So these are all really important for us because we're in the beginning of so better to get some information about that knowledge. See, here we have Windows authentication login and SQL Server authentication login. Right. So now, what is the difference between Windows authentication login and this SQL authentication login? See, Windows authentication login can be used for only local connections. In the same way, while connecting to Management Studio, Windows authentication will not ask for credentials. Credentials means what? Username and password. Right. Coming to SQL Server authentication, it can be used for local connections and remote connections also. And while connecting to Management Studio, SQL Server authentication asks for